Hello and welcome to today's morning yoga class. We are on day number 8 of our 60-day body movement challenge. We're going to start by sitting, placing the sit bones firmly on the mat, taking a couple of breaths here. Reaching the right arm overhead, holding onto the other side of your head, pulling down just gently, moving into a neck stretch on the left-hand side. If you'd like to deepen the stretch, you can extend the left arm out away from the body. Placing the hand a little further back on the head, we'll move into a back of neck stretch, pulling forward and down just slightly, bringing the chin to your chest. Bringing the right arm back down, switching to the left, reaching over the head, holding onto the right side of your head and pulling down just gently. Again, if you'd like, you can extend the left arm out, deepening that stretch. Moving the hand again to the back of the head, pulling chin to chest, very gentle stretch. Bringing both arms back down to neutral, taking a deep breath in, and exhale, extending the right arm down, reaching over with the left, opening up the rib cage. Coming back to neutral, we'll switch to the other side. Rearrange the feet so that it is the uncomfortable way of sitting in your cross-legged position and reaching down and across. We'll move into our first twist, taking the right arm, moving it across to the left knee, and twisting the rib cage, wringing out the low back. And slowly coming back to center, moving to the other side. Twisting from the low back, trying to get your chest to come all the way around with your body. And when you're ready, we're going to move into a tabletop position for some cat and cow. Taking a deep breath in, rounding out the back, and exhaling when you come back down. Arching the back up, shooting the tailbone to the sky, keeping the shoulders back, down, and away from the ears. Inhale. And exhale. And on your next exhale, curl the toes under, shooting the body up toward the sky for your first downward facing dog. Paddle out the feet, do whatever adjustments and movements you need this morning. We'll plant the left foot, raising the right to the sky, bending the right knee, opening up that hip, squeezing the glutes. And we'll move forward into a high plank, knee to nose, shooting back up, 2 more like this. And on this last one, we're going to look up past the hands, plant the foot between the hands, and come up into your first warrior 1. Windmill the left arm down, reaching the right arm up toward the sky, twisting into this pose. Deepening the stretch by reaching up and overhead. And when you're ready, placing that hand back down on the inside of the leg, reaching up and twisting the other way. And if you're open for a challenge this morning, we can move into a bind, reaching both arms behind you, clasping the hands behind your back. If you need, you can also drop your knee to the ground. Placing both hands back down on the mat, other foot comes back to meet. You're going to come back into a downward facing dog and either step or hop your feet up to meet your hands, rolling up slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, all the way to mountain pose. Deep breath overhead, and we're going to fall back down, halfway lift, and coming back to a forward fold. We will hop or step the feet back to a high plank, chaturanga down to the mat, into a baby cobra, shoulders back, down, away from the ears. Coming back down, putting the hands near the hips and pressing back into a child's pose. And when you're ready, let's find our way back into a downward facing dog to fulfill the sequence on the other side. Planting the right leg, shooting the left up into the sky. We're going to bend the knee, squeezing the glutes. And we're going to do 3 high plank, bringing the knee to the nose. And on this third one, we're going to gaze between the hands, plant the left leg down into a high lunge. Windmill the right hand down toward the mat, twisting toward the leg. Try to get your chest, your heart to shine toward the sky. Planting the left hand back to the inside of the left leg, shooting up to the other side, twisting out the back the opposite direction. And if you're into having a little bit of a challenge, we can try that bind on the opposite side. Again, there is option to drop the knee to the earth as well. Bringing both hands back down to the mat, we will find ourselves in a high plank, down chaturanga, and this time we'll move to an upward facing dog. And if it's within your practice today, we can paddle out the legs, bringing the foot toward the glutes, one at a time, alternating. Pressing back into child's pose. Curling the toes under, let's make our way back up into a downward facing dog. Hop or step the feet up toward the hands. Halfway lift, coming back down, slowly rolling the body back up into mountain pose. And we're going to try a couple of balance positions here. We're just going to have some fun. Plant the left leg on the mat. You can either have your foot above or below the knee, whatever's comfortable. And we're going to try to stand here, hands up overhead, for a nice, beautiful tree pose. Deep breath, focus on something that's stationary. Coming back down, we're going to immediately turn and move into a dancer's pose. So again, planting that left leg, holding onto the foot with your right arm, and we're going to slowly bend forward, again finding that balance, finding that gaze on something stationary. Holding here for a few breaths. You look beautiful. And coming back down, we will move to the other side, planting the right leg. Left leg moves up, either above or below the knee. Find that stationary spot in front of you. Hands up overhead, and let's take a few breaths here. Coming back down, we'll find ourselves in dancer's pose on the other side, planting that right leg again. Left hand meets left ankle, and we're going to slowly bend forward, finding your balance. Come to standing, we're going to move the legs about just further than hip distance apart, reaching overhead with the left arm, twisting to have a flat back, again facing the right leg, coming down, meeting that hand to the ankle, and slowly moving your way from here, wrapping all the way back up, and we'll move to the other side. Forward fold here, holding onto the ankles. Flatten your body up against the legs. If you need a slight bend in the knee, that's perfectly okay. And nodding the head yes, shaking the head no, back and forth. We'll move into some Frogger squats, so moving the arms to the insides of the legs, hands come to prayer, holding this pose for a moment, pressing the elbows into the knees, opening up the hips. Placing the hands down on the mat, we will extend the legs, moving to the one side of the body. From here, stretching forward toward the extended leg. If this is not within your practice this morning, feel free to stay in the central position, pressing the elbows into the knees. Moving to the other side, reaching toward that inner leg. And when you're ready, we'll move into a seated position, finding our way down on our mats. And we're going to do a little bit of ab work here. So bringing both legs up, shins parallel with the ground, bringing the chest up, off the ground. We're going to twist just the upper body, reaching across, meeting opposite elbow to opposite knee 3 times on each side. Bringing the legs back down, extend both out, deep breath, and we'll bring the heels back in toward the glutes. We're going to windshield wipe the knees side to side, again twisting pose, hands up in a T-shaped position. laying back down in whatever position is comfortable for you for a few moments here in Shavasana.
Fields of our paths, feelings part our ways, keeping us close but estranged now. Dreams holding us closer, meadows of our youth, 107 days, but recalling it backwards. Our dreams holding us closer. Ooh, we can see.
And when you're ready, moving on to the side of your body, finding your way up into a seated position. Last couple of breaths here. Thank you so much for your practice today, for joining me for this morning yoga session. Namaste, my friends.